guys, welcome to Biology Tutorials with Becky. Please, if you haven't liked and subscribed my videos, please like and subscribe this video to have more videos like this. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the different functions of the organelles in the animal cell. So these tiny cell organelles you see inside the cell, they are specialized structures and they carry out specific functions just like our organs in our human body. So let's take a look at the nucleus. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. That is, it controls cell division, cell growth, DNA replication, RNA transcription. From the diagram, you will see a thread-like structure there called the chromatin. But when it is condensed, it is called chromosome. So these chromatin or chromosomes, they carry genetic materials or traits from parents to offsprings. So lastly, inside the nucleus, we have the nucleolus. The nucleolus is responsible for the production of ribosomes. So these ribosomes, they move out of the nucleus through the nuclear pore and then they attach themselves to the endoplasmic reticulum. Let's look at the ribosome. The ribosome is a very important organelle in the cell because it does this important function, that is to synthesize proteins. And they do this by translating the genetic code from the messenger RNA in codons into a specific chain of amino acids. And each of these acids is bonded by peptide bond. So let's talk about the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is divided into two parts. We have the rough endoplasmic reticulum and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum lacks ribosomes and it's responsible for the following functions such as detoxification of drugs and toxins and synthesis and metabolisms of lipids, carbohydrates and steroids. So let's look at the rough endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is stored with ribosomes. And as we can see from the diagram, the rough endoplasmic reticulum receives the protein produced by the ribosomes and they help to fold and modify this protein to different shapes that will be useful in the cell. And after this, they transport them to the Golgi apparatus for further processing. Okay, the Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus is also known as Golgi body, and it is responsible for the processing, sorting, and packaging of proteins and lipids, and transports these lipids and proteins to their final destination, which can be the lysosome, the plasma membrane, or even secretion from the cell. So quickly, let's talk about the mitochondria. The mitochondria functions as the powerhouse of the cell, and it does this by generating energy in the form of ATP through cellular respiration. So as you can see from the chemical equation, glucose here is broken down in the presence of oxygen to release carbon dioxide, water, and usable energy, ATP, which means adenosine triphosphates. So after production of ATP, the mitochondria distribute them to other cell organelles that need them for energy. So now let's talk about the lysosome. So the lysosome is a membrane-bound cell organelle that contains digestive enzymes. So what it does is that it breaks down excess or worn-out cell parts. Could be the endoplasmic reticulum, it could be worn-out ribosomes, worn-out Golgi body, and other cell organelles. And they also help to destroy invading virus and bacteria inside the cell. Let's talk about the vacuole. The vacuole is also a membrane-bound cell organelle and it does the following functions, that is, the storage of water, nutrients, pigments, and even waste management. And it also isolates and disposes harmful substances in the cell. The microtubule. The microtubule is important in maintaining the shape of the cell and they also act as tracks for the movement of other cell organelles. They help cell organelles to move from one side to the other side of the cell, and it's also very essential in the separation of chromosomes. As seen in the diagram, those extended lines, they represent the microtubule, and they help in separation of the chromosomes from each other, and this helps in the process of cell division. Lastly, let's talk about the centrioles. The centrioles, they are cylindrical structures which are made up of the microtubule that we discussed earlier. So they are essential for cell division, and they do this by creating a mitotic spindle that helps to separate the chromosome during cell division as seen in the diagram. So this is the end of the video. If you watched it to this extent, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you in our next video.